welcome back to the Horror Herald.
Yes, and welcome back. Truly a welcome back because
it's been over a month.
I feel like it's been 2, I think, since at least filming it.
Yeah.
It's been an age. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great to be back.
Yeah.
It's so great to be back. It's and yeah, we've missed you. I hope you missed us. I've missed seeing your face. I've missed, everything that you've done for me. And but I just need you to know that.
What?
Hi, my name is Leo. This is Louis. If you don't know,
they don't come here for professionalism.
Yeah, no. Hi. If you don't know who we are the Horror Herald. We review horror stuff. And that's what we're doing.
Our opinions are the best.
And it's all that matters.
Everything about horror.
And today is a very special episode because we are doing a double feature. A double feature with both Evil Dead Rise and Infinity Pool.
We watched.
Oh wow! Because we watched it at a little film screening. It was like the Fantastic Fest or something.
Yeah.
What was it? Like Fantastic Film Fest or something like some kind of like X-rated film festival. But as you can probably tell, these are some pretty old movies. They've come and gone. But we really wanted to review these, but we never did because we had a lot going on in our lives that we just couldn't. That we couldn't do it. So we're just doing a quick double feature, getting 2 movies in one review.
Yeah.
Out the way and getting it done so we can do our next review for something that's more prominent. But we love these films, maybe, I don't know, but we wanted to review these films. I don't know if we love these films. Oh, well, I don't know. You see. You see.
Spoils it up front.
I don't know. I'm not trying to spoil. I'm giving you. Do we love it? Do we not love it? Oh.
Anyway,
I'm just saying these films were cool experiences to watch.
So that's why we put them together.
So we wanted to review them.
Yeah.
We didn't want to let them slide.
They're kind of similar in the shock value. Of, Evil Dead is whoa, and Infinity Pool is whoa, but different reasons of whoa.
Right. Anyway, but before we do that, we have to do what we always do, and don't skip.
I know I put those time codes in, but
do not skip.
Don't,
because believe me, you're gonna want to hear this.
Our reactions. I don't know what's happening right now.
Yo. Before we start, we talk about the news. Before we get to the news, we're going to talk about our sponsor. And our sponsor for this week, do not skip.
I swear to
do
fucking
not skip.
God.
Do not skip. Our sponsor, I forgot it. I got to get it up. So scan the QR code for our sponsor. You're not going to regret this. You're seriously not going to regret this.
Okay.
This time only. Scan the QR code, never done before, and you'll get to the website. It's amazing. And the website is... Bro, help me with my houseparty.weebly.com. That's right. Bro, help me.
They need your help.
Help me with help me with my houseparty.weebly.com. Scan it. I don't even know what you're going to find.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Because
the
party hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened
yet. We have to make the party.
You've got to help the party. You've got to help this bro make a party, bro. Do it. And seriously, scan it. If you don't scan it, you're fake.
You're not real.
You're not real. You evaporate away from the screen.
Get out of here.
Go scan it. Have some fun. Have a good time. And enjoy. But now that's enough of our sponsor. We're now going to get to our news segment.
Also, link in description if you're on your phone.
Oh, yeah, dude. Link in description. Check us out also on Instagram and stuff. We have it there.
Yep.
Gang. Okay. So, wait. Am I... Yes. Okay, this week's horror news. Now, this probably be old by the time you.
It doesn't matter when the news is. It's our reactions to the news.
Yeah, it's just horror news.
Horror news.
Horror news. Get excited,
We're
everyone.
Journalists.
Get excited, everyone.
That's why the Horror Herald.
Cool. So the first news is. John Carpenter directs TV series titled Suburban Dreams. Yeah, John Carpenter. You may not know him. He's a horror director.
He's directing.
A little bit underground.
Writing?
I don't know. But here's the interesting thing. Okay. Is that John Carpenter, he recently said that he finished directing remotely a TV series called Suburban Dreams.
Was he just on his couch?
No, legit. It was filmed in Prague and I sat on my couch and directed it. It was awesome. That is what he said. Did you read this before? No. Do you know about... No, legitimately. The funny thing is he directed this on his couch.
Such a John Carpenter thing to do.
It was filmed in Prague. I sat on my couch and directed it. It was awesome.
Did he Did he just direct? Did he like do cinematography? Did he like?
I don't know. Based on this article, it's just he directed it.
Storyboard it?
I don't know. It was a festival. It was a Texas Frightmare.
Okay.
Or something like that, and he just made a comment about something he was directing, which is called The Suburban Dreams, and
wow,
yeah, it was in Prague, so that's kind of cool. But it was on his couch. So what does that mean? Like, maybe it's like not even a, maybe it's like a technology kind of Zoom thing.
No,
like maybe
I honestly think that he was on his couch, put a Zoom, and then just put a laptop down.
He's going,
and he went like, just do that fucking better, mate.
Yeah, he's just like, he's doing even more. Like, there's executive producing, and then he's like doing like, I'm directing, but it's like executive directing.
Executive directing.
I'm doing this.
He's got his six pack. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
man.
but yeah, and he loved it.
Anyone else I'd call lazy? John Carpenter? No.
Yeah, no, he's done his work. He's done his work. He's an old bloke as well, so it's okay. But I'm excited. I mean, I probably will see it. I don't know. Depending on where it's released.
Yeah.
But yeah, new TV series from his home. He directed it.
Okay.
Cool,
man.
Right, next up. The Purge 6 is in development.
Why is that guy there?
Wait, hold on.
I know who it is. Why?
I just love this image.
Is he part of the movie?
Yes, he's like a main character. That guy, he was like in the other Purge films. He's like his name is Leo. His name is Leo.
I've never seen.
Let me get it up.
I've never seen any Purge movie.
This guy I think is Frank Grillo. Forgot I think that's his name.
Yep.
And basically, so this is like, this hasn't been confirmed, but the guy who's like made the Purge films is like, I'll be up for like Purge 6, even though the last film, which I think was called The Final Purge or something, or the Forever Purge,
the Trump one,
was meant to be the franchise's final movie. But the director was like, hey, you know what? If people want another one, let's do it. And also he's wanting to
Fast and the Furious.
He's wanting to write, like he's writing it. He's like, hey, people like what I wrote, then let's do it.
Did they? Or was it just like fans liked it?
No. Like if they like the script that I'm writing now, we'll do another one.
Okay.
And I don't know really, but you know, basically it would star this guy Leo, who's gonna be like kind of a main character. I mean, I haven't seen all the films. Like I've seen 1, 2, and 3.
I don't like the idea of like the Purge movie having one actor, because the whole point of it is like everyone dies and shit.
It was the director explained to Variety that hey, he's been working on a script for about 8 months, and it's not completely different from previous movies. That's always great to hear.
Because it's fucking Purge movie.
And it's a new America we're entering into. And anyway, yep. So six movie is in development. This is normally I'm more on the, like when we do these news segments, I'm like actually kind of knowing the information. I'm saying stuff. Right now I'm just very chill with it. I'm like, movie,
6 movies, 6 seasons in a movie. Who cares?
Anyway, the Forever Purge is gonna. Yeah, no, that's the last one. But anyway, new Purge movie in development. If you want Purge,
that's meant to happen.
Yeah. All right, awesome. The next one. Trailer drops for Poor Things, Frankenstein adaptation starring Willem Dafoe and Emma Stone.
I know about this one.
So this is like an artsy kind of Frankenstein movie.
Yeah.
Coming out, Frankenstein, as they say.
Who?
Frankenstein.
Right. Frankenstein.
As they say. Frankenstein.
Sigmund.
But basically, yeah, trailer just dropped. I lost my information. I'm just trying to find it.
So pretty much, Willem Dafoe, he's Mr. Frankenstein, Doctor, and Emma Stone is the Frankenstein? Or is it the opposite?
I don't know.
It looks like Willem Dafoe's a Frankenstein, but I think it's the opposite.
Okay, so basically, it tells the incredible tale of a fantastic evolution of Bella Baxter. Don't know who that is. A young woman brought back to life by the brilliant and so Bella Baxter is going to be Emma Stone, who's brought back to life by the unorthodox scientist Dr. Goodwin Baxter Defoe. So I don't think it's strictly the Frankenstein story.
Is it a father-daughter?
I don't know.
Both have the last name?
I don't think it's strictly the Frankenstein story, but it's like a version of it. So not adaptation, but it's like a interesting idea for it. Yeah. And basically, under Baxter's protection, Bella is eager to learn, hungry for the worldliness she is lacking. Bella runs off with Duncan Ruffalo. Is it Mark Ruffalo? Yeah, Mark Ruffalo. A slick and debauched lawyer on a whirlwind adventure across the continent. Free from prejudices of her time, Bella grows steadfast in her purpose to stand for equality and liberation.
God, cool. I know that's technically a really cool subject matter, but man, I've seen so many of those movies.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so cool. Oh, I'm hated. Oh no, a person likes me. That's sick. And then I'm not thrilled about this, but okay. Sure.
No, it looks cool, and yeah, why not? I mean, I have nothing really.
If
to
anyone
say.
calls them a freak, I'm out of the movie. Fucking
Really?
every single time.
That's such a
I'm
nitpick.
sorry.
That's
I
gonna
know.
happen.
I'm joking. I'm not actually going to leave the movie. But the amount of times I've seen movies and it's like, you freak. And I'm like, oh, who says that?
Okay.
People probably did. But even Halloween Ends did it. And I was like, fuck.
Okay, you still got burnt. From
Yeah, I'm still on burnt from Halloween Ends and
Halloween
fucking
Ends.
freak.
Anyway, that's that. It's coming out
Looks like
sometime.
It looks like it's already
It's
filmed.
coming. It's. But anyway, first trailer dropped. I haven't seen the trailer. Have you seen the trailer?
Oh, God,
No. Go. So there you go. I'll see this movie.
I'll see it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's cool.
Who's directing it? I'm putting you on the spot.
Hold up. Tony McNamara, who did The Great and Cruella.
Oh. One of those movies and/or TV shows is good.
Let you decide. All right, so that was the news, and now it's time to get to the double feature review. So before we do that, we're going to swap to our different angles. Swap to the angles. 3, 2, 1. Wow.
Whoa! Evil Dead, am I right?
Hi to the new angles. Hello, hi. Yes, so the first one we want to review is Evil Dead Rise. Because we're very excited to talk about that one. Because we have thoughts about it, don't we?
No.
We have thoughts.
No thoughts.
We don't have any...
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Infinity Pool.
Infinity Pool.
No.
Do you have any thoughts about Infinity Pool?
No.
Okay. Thanks
for watching. And hey, that's
It's
just a theory.
But yes, the first one we want to do is Evil Dead Rise. And we're going to speed through these. Like, these are going to be like shorter reviews than we normally do. Like, if you've seen our other videos,
Wham bam.
we'll spend like an hour talking about a film, whether you like it or not.
This one, 20 seconds.
20
seconds.
We'll try to make it short. We can't tell you how long it will go for, but we'll try to
Knowing
make
us, longer than expected.
longer than expected.
Hey.
If we feel like we're going too long, we'll just hit the other person and go,
Okay.
stop. But basically, okay, so Evil Dead Rise, film that released, I think, in April for us.
Yes, April 28th.
It's June now. So
We watched
that
it
was a bit ago.
in May or something. Like we
May?
watched it. Yeah, we watched it like
either
pretty
the week
soon after.
the week after.
Yeah.
Or like at the end of the week if it released at the start of the week. But like but yeah, that was good.
Very exciting.
That was exciting.
Our first Evil Dead movie in theaters.
Yeah, and it's very highly anticipated. Highly anticipated because, we're fans of the Evil Dead franchise. I think Louis is a little bit more than I am.
Yeah.
But I
both appreciate.
Yeah, like yeah. I love the series. I love the TV show as well. Yeah. And I mean, my favorite may change, but like for me, it's always been the remake.
The remake, yeah.
Like I'm the kind of guy that like. I love the other Evil Dead films, but like I never fully got the tone. Like they did because they're like both like comedy horror films, not completely comedy, but like it's this weird tone that I respect a lot, but I never could fully get into it.
Yeah.
So when there was something that was like fully dark horror, well, not fully dark horror, but something that was like gory, but it's so funny because it's so gory.
Yeah.
That's like what I kind of stuck with. So like I really do like the Evil Dead remake. And so when I saw, at least in the trailers, that this looked like it was going to be a lot like the Evil Dead remake, I was definitely more excited than I
think the reason
would be.
why I don't like the remake as much is because it definitely like trades. Like the original ones don't have the best characters development, but I would say that they have better character as Ash. So I feel like my enjoyment of Ash in those movies is a lot of fun, and I'm like, yeah, this is so fun, and it's silly. But in the remake, it's like I don't care about anyone here, and so like it's like it like traded. It was like the previous one all about Ash and the character, the new one all about the gore and the craziness, and like traded. It was like traded places, and it was like just dark and scary. Characters not as fun. Like I would say like whatever her name is a good character. Like she's actually well developed, but like not as fun. I'm more of like following Ash through a series. Yeah,
but I guess it's hard to have that kind of fun character in such a dark film that is the remake.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it traded. It was like it
but of
traded.
course, I mean that's the thing that made Evil Dead so great was that it had those kind of fun moments in a really dark situation. Yeah. But like anyway, that's enough of that. Anyway, suffice it to say, we were excited for this film.
Yeah.
And yeah, should we start off with the positives and negatives? What do we always start off with?
We always start with positives. We always start off with you, so hurry up.
Okay, positive. Okay, whoa, yeah, we're on a tight schedule, baby.
Hurry up.
This is double feature. Okay, all right. I like the setting. I like the apartment setting.
Yeah,
I think it worked really well.
Yeah.
I liked how they were able to make the apartment still kind of feel like it was a shack in the woods.
Yeah,
like there was like
it was
vines.
enclosed.
There was like vines on the walls, and it was like the vines is like
it was a rundown apartment, so that made
it also kind of had like a cozy vibe at the start for like the apartment. So it, like I felt like this was like kind of a home.
Yeah.
It felt like a
It
good
had a
space.
Jesus bank in the basement. Really cool.
Yeah, and I think having that like one location, even though that is kind of the Evil Dead films, it was cool that this is like different kind of levels to the one location.
Yeah.
That it had like different like even the rooms in the different apartments kind of felt different from one another, and not different apartments, but in the main apartment felt different.
You could have different scare scenes in different places, and not just one big open.
But I really like that they were able to take like the Evil Dead elements of like the shack and like the vines and just use it into like let's say the elevator and the wires.
Yeah.
And then they were able to take Evil Dead and make it work very well in an apartment.
Yeah.
And I think the setting was good, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Branching off, I'll go
Branching,
next.
love that.
Oh my god!
Vine.
Let's get like a tree and fuck. Branching.
That was a funny line in the show. That was the best line.
Branching off to that is I think it's also I also have a bit of a negative in this, but I feel like mostly it branched. Fuck, I can't stop using the word. It took elements of the previous movies and made it into like a new thing. Like it wasn't like it didn't just feel like an old Raimi film, and it didn't just feel like an Evil Dead remake. It felt like its own thing.
Yeah.
Like it definitely didn't like feel totally this own. It's like it's like I think the reason why they hired this guy is because he wasn't a Raimi. Like even at the start they had the drone shot and it was like a kind of a parody of the flying
you
shot.
still got your little kind of like Evil Dead bit with the shack at the start.
But it wasn't like, hey, this is Raimi, because no one liked. People did like the remake, but no one liked the remake. So let's go back to the other one. And they're like, no, it was both. And I was like, okay, cool, but it also had its own flair to it, and I feel like that was appreciated.
Yeah. What's the positive that you have? I can go for one of mine.
I'll say because that was kind of branching off yours, because that's what I.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you want to give like a full.
But like a full one is I really did like the characters.
Yeah.
It's like the in between of the remake and the originals of like silly characters. Kind of, they're funny, but also like I actually care about them. And when they died, I was like, "Fuck, no, I like that person."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no!"
And it helps that they're kids, but on the same time, I agree. I think the kids kind of felt more individual. Like they weren't. I like them as well. They kind of had good rapport with each other.
They weren't the most developed people ever, but they were developed enough for me to like be shocked when they would die.
Yeah,
and be like, "Oh my god, that is a main character," because there is no side characters to kill off. They're all main characters,
and they kind of gave it like more stakes as well, because these are. I
was like, "Who's gonna fucking die?"
Yeah,
I thought the kid was gonna.
And the fact that the director was like, "We are gonna kill kids."
Yeah,
did give the film stakes, which is respectable. And
but
back like branching off that, because I'm gonna branch off that. I think the performances were pretty great across the board for these characters,
especially the mother.
And the mother was fantastic, and like I would say this is like one of the most like likable set of characters.
Yeah,
like in the other movies, it's full of douches.
Yeah,
like I like the remake, but there's like a couple of douches in there that I just don't like.
Yeah,
but everyone I think was likable, and even like the person who like found the Necronomicon and put the record on. Yeah, it sucked. It was a stupid decision. But on the same time, I could tell they felt bad about it.
Yeah.
They were trying to pull off the record so it wouldn't, play. Yeah. I could tell that they felt horrible, and
he was like, and he was like, "It was me. I did it. My bad." Like it wasn't like, "Oh, I don't know how it happened." Pfft. And like it wasn't like a lie reveal later on in the movie. It was like, "No, my bad." And then the sister was like, "Fuck you," and there was like, "Oh, drama, cool." Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice."
But and I think. Yeah, but also, I think that makes it likable that people are like, recognizing that the decisions were bad, and I think, I agree. I think the cast.
It reminded me of completely different, but it reminded me of Superman and Lois, and like when a character fucks up, they're like, "Hey, I fucked up." There's no like drama of like, "Oh, I fucked up. I'm not gonna tell anyone, or it's gonna come out later." It was like, nope, everyone was well defined.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
So should
You
I
talk about the acting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say both mothers. You get it? Because she's pregnant. The other one's pregnant.
So yes.
Both mothers, amazing actors. The kids, great. No, like, oh, they're a child, so let's be nice to them. I was like, no, all of them were good.
Mm-hmm.
No bad actors. Performances were great. I think probably one of the best Deadite performances, mainly because she had the whole movie.
Yeah.
But, like, even so, she had one of the best, like, actual, like, Deadite, like...
Yeah. She was impressive.
Yeah. I think she is also a New Zealander, because this was filmed in New Zealand.
I want to say Australian, but probably not Australian.
I think she's New Zealander.
But, yeah, it was filmed in New Zealand, then, yeah, it was probably... And I'm pretty sure so was...
A lot of things
Is it Lily Sullivan who played, like...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like both of them are New Zealand.
I think most people here are New Zealanders.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. Yeah. Should I get into my thing?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I like the directing. To be honest, I think it was great.
Unique
I think
style.
there were some really interesting shots, like especially that eye hole one.
Yeah.
Like was really good.
Yeah, that one take.
And I think there was lots of one takes, lots of creepy kind of like unsettling shots where like one character's there in the foreground, you can see things happening, which isn't new, but it was good, and I just. I just think the directing was creative, and I think it was cool.
Again, like it kind of goes into it's like Sam Raimi, where it's kind of crazy and like whoa, but it's not Sam Raimi.
Yeah, and I wish I could talk more about the directing, but it has been so long, and I have not.
We haven't rewatched it.
I somehow turned on my.
You turned your flashlight on, Leo.
Oh no. But I wish I could talk about it more, but it has been so long, and I did not put in my notes. But I'm sure if we watch the film again, we can easily point out some great stuff.
We'll point at it and go,
Yeah, but I think, I just thought the directing was good, and cinematography.
A real quick one, epic title card. That title card, oh man.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah, when it rised.
when like she started rising and the title card came up. Oh boy. I was like, this is good.
Call me that chilled
Lee, you need to shut
YouTuber. Chill. Okay, yeah.
But I'll do an actual one. Practical effects, amazing. Great effects in general, because there were CGI elements in this.
Yeah.
But man, were those practical effects practical? Because ouchie, I like there was some, especially when the mother was in the bathtub and she jumped out. I know it's wires, but that's still technically practical effects because they actually did it.
Yeah.
And like crawling and the kid getting I'll put a spoiler warning at the beginning.
Oh yeah, these are spoilers.
Yeah,
spoilers.
I'll put it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like when the kid gets stabbed in the arm, and I was like, oh my god, are they dying? When she starts eating glass, like I know like that's digital, but when she's like eating it, and the cheese grater, yum yum.
I will say I wasn't expecting the cheese grater to look more gory.
Like, I think it got hyped up.
But they just like I mean there was literally a poster of the apartment as a cheese grater.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit, that's gonna be the most horrifying thing in the entire film. That's the thing I was not. I was scared about going.
Leo was terrified going in.
I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be horrible.
I was excited.
It was actually fine.
Yeah.
But I was expecting more. But it was like what it realistically would look like.
Yeah.
But and the goal was good. The goal was good.
And like the creature at the end, no matter what you feel about the creature at the end, still good effects. Like this movie didn't have the biggest budget, so it was going to be a streaming movie, and then everyone liked it so much it went to movies. So that's good. I'm done.
Yeah, you're done with all your.
Or like they're branching. They're like
sure.
Picture.
I'll list some stuff and tell me how you feel. So I thought overall the film was paced pretty well.
Yeah.
Like I was having fun throughout.
Yeah.
Like I didn't. There was maybe like moments at the end. I was like, oh, are we at the end yet? But like it wasn't like super noticeable. Like it was good. It was like I thought the pacing was good, and it was just fun. And each of the scenes had the right amount of intensity, I feel, as well. But yeah, it was a very kind of fun film, and I feel like there was some really great scenes where like your excitement was being amped up, like the opening one, or like when the vinyl is playing and you hear the thunder and you hear the coming towards the apartment and you can hear the rumbling. I could tell. I think I was looking at Louis. We're like, oh fuck it's happening! It's happening! It's happening!
I was like watching Evil Dead, bitch.
And it was very exciting. I think there's some scenes had some great tension and some great kind of like build up, and I thought that was fantastic. Let's see. I think there was just enough fan service.
Yeah,
it wasn't like overpowering, but there was just enough to keep Evil Dead fans happy.
Yeah.
Like they said, Dead by Dawn, which was kind of cool.
Dead by Dawn,
and they had the chainsaw because it's always
there's always a chainsaw.
but there was just enough that was like cool.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll talk more about that later, but as well. But like, to me, like it wasn't like, oh, this is obviously an Evil Dead, reference that they're making to get people on board. It was just enough.
Yeah.
I also like the element how it was like it's one of the books of the Dead.
Yeah.
I like that as a concept.
That's one that you reminded me. I think I really like this movie and how it branches out of. It wasn't just like, because Deadites are like, they're here to torment you. They aren't here to kill you. They're here to like poke you and then kill you and take you over. But they're here to fuck with you. They're like evil. They're like, ooh, I'm gonna tickle you and all that shit. So like, I really liked how this movie was like playing with that idea of like they're like mischievous. I want more of that. I want more mischievous Deadites. I don't want them to be like just zombies that want to kill you. Mm-hmm. I want them to like be mischievous, to be little tricksters. And I like how this movie.
Those are different types of them.
Yeah, I like how this movie expanded that fact of. Like I want to be more. I was kind of disappointed at the end. I wanted more of like different, because they all came together and mushed together into one thing. And I was like, oh, and then they opened the book and it was like all this creepy imagery. I'm like, I want to see that. Like it kind of like movies that go like, oh, look at all this stuff. I'm like, that's really cool. I want to see it. And this movie like teased me with like, this is what we can do nowadays. And I'm like, I want to see that.
Yeah.
So, I hate that I have to say this, but I appreciated that.
I don't think there was any moments where I really felt like there were like gaps of logic within characters.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just have to say that though, because like the past few horror movies I've seen, I'm like, oh, that's such a stupid thing. I hate to say it, but Halloween Ends and Kills really ruined it for me. But this felt like, hey, it's not really any big gaps. I know there's a bit where like Danny is playing around with the vinyl and putting on the record, but even then, like Danny tried to stop the record.
I don't like when people go like, oh, they did something wrong. They're the dumbest character. I'm like, people do dumb shit all the time.
Yeah.
And it is okay to do dumb shit.
Sorry. Like this. Oh. Oh shit. Sorry.
It is good. It is good to
it is good.
Like I think annoying characters and like dumb characters can still be good characters. I hate when people like that character's annoying, they're a bad character. It's like no, they're meant to do that. They're meant to be also kind of dumb. Like some characters are meant to do that because it makes sense, and it's not because you're watching it as a movie. But sometimes in the moment you're like, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would probably play that disc. I'd probably go and go like and like have some fun with it. Like I would. Because I don't believe in spirits and all that dead demon stuff. But in this movie, I know they exist.
Yeah.
But in real life, I'll be like, play it like 50 times.
And on my final positive, if that's okay, you can get a final positive. On the topic of discs, the biggest and the reason why I appreciate this film more than I would if I didn't is it had an LCD sound system song. And I was like, wow, that moved me. And I'm happy about that because I love LCD sound system.
Did it move you like an inch?
What?
Did it move you like an inch?
I moved an inch from my seat. Oh no, hell yeah! I was like, heck yeah! Okay. It was. I think it was. What was it? Damn! I forgot the name. Cut that out.
Nope.
no, I was like, LCD sound system. Dance yourself clean. Dance yourself clean. That's it. And I was like, hell yeah! And I immediately liked Danny, and I didn't care that Danny got the Deadites to come. I was like,
they need to come anyway.
Dude, Danny played an LCD sound system song.
Yeah.
Chill on my book. Chill. Anyway,
negatives. The movie sucks.
It did. No. It was pretty bad. Yeah. Like, despite those few negatives, positives, shib.
Want me to go first in negatives?
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like I'm the more negative person in general, so I should start the negative.
Sure, go for it.
We kind of teased this before, but I wrote this out. The grounded feel of characters and then the Evil Dead humor mixes strangely at points. Like the eyeball flying into the mouth.
That was
It was
weird.
like, oh. It was just like, it had its own style and suddenly like, oh, that's like Evil Dead 2. And it was like that camera
that
angle.
was Raimi, but...
And I was like, oh,
weird.
that's kind of weird. And it kind of juxtaposed like, very Evil Dead, but it doesn't translate to this movie's tone as much.
Yeah.
Like, it stays away from a lot of Evil Dead imagery, but picks and chooses, and it doesn't always fit.
Yeah.
Like it was like it was its own thing, and then suddenly it was like this thing, and I was like, oh okay, because like Dead by Dawn almost got me there of like, that's kind of weird, but I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, they say that. But the eyeball and like some little references and some little Evil Dead bits, it was like, I don't know. It felt like, oh yeah, we have to connect this more into the franchise. So that's one of my biggest complaints.
Yeah. One of my complaints is, and it's not a horrible thing, but while this film was gory, it didn't feel as impactful as other.
I wrote that down.
Gory
Not
films.
very scary.
Like yes, it had gore, and technically it may have had the most gore, but it wasn't as impactful.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it has the most gore, but like I guess there's a bigger body count than the last one, but it didn't feel as impactful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It kept the
yeah.
playfulness of the other Evil Dead movies, so it's not scary in that way.
Yeah.
It's like so over the top and crazy.
Like I was ready to go in and go like, this is gonna be horrific.
Yeah.
I heard apparently it's the goriest one yet. It's gonna be more scary than Evil Dead remake.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't.
Evil
Dead remake, it was very gory, but like it was dark.
Yeah,
and it's
the
gore.
thing
like,
about Evil Dead remake gory is that it's like realistic gory. Like cutting your tongue
that's scary.
and like nails and cutting your hand off. Like you can feel that. This one, it's like extreme ripping someone's arm off and flinging it around and they go, and then like, it's like, that's like cool imagery.
And also it felt like I guess maybe because it felt like a lot like I know there was practical effects in this film, but some of the gore was obviously going to be CGI, and it kind of took away a little bit from the effect to me because like with the like eyeball, like with the missing eyeball face, or like there was moments out there like it felt like that is CGI, and it just
I don't really remember, but okay.
I maybe it doesn't matter, maybe, but like I don't know, it didn't feel as impactful for me, the gore, and it felt a little bit like.
Right.
But anyway, it was still good though. I was expecting it to be like, because people were saying it's like the goriest of them all.
Yeah.
It just wasn't as gory, but that's not a horrible negative.
I didn't find it very.
It just
scary.
wasn't as impactful as other films with the remake.
Better sensitized.
Yeah. All right. Do you have another negative?
You did my other negative. Not very
okay.
Scary.
Okay. So do you want to just
you
mine?
go.
Okay. Cool. I wasn't a big fan of the ending scene where it's like victim from beforehand. Basically, you know the scene where like the lady's coming out of the apartment after everything's gone and is like, okay, I'm gonna go now to the shack.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna be fun. Like it's cool because like you're saying, it's setting up going like, oh yeah, that's the thing from the start. But it kind of took away from the characters we just watched and witnessed. Yeah. Like we just saw them, saw everything they went through, and that felt like a complete story. But now we just have this kind of tacked on scene just so we can make the start make full sense. Make the start
full circle.
Make the start. If you could do anything, just so the start
could make it full circle.
Yeah, I know, but like it didn't feel. It felt like and it felt a little bit cheesy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when the spirit was like, "Well, I'm coming," and it's really funny because it's like the spirit went into her. Yeah. So I'm just imagining like a dead-eyed version of her driving the car to get to the shack.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
in traffic, like beep beep.
It's like possessed by like, "Oh God damn it!" And like that logistically just doesn't make sense.
And also like she's like feeling sick, so she must have gone there. Oh, I'm like in still human form. Yeah. And like, oh, I'm feeling sick, and like, oh, I'm sleepy. I want to lie down. Like. It felt like a long drive to get to that cabin.
Yeah, because that's like deep in the woods.
Yeah, wouldn't she be like, man, I have to cancel?
City.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's going on? But I can just imagine it just being like a dead eye going, oh, fucking hell, taking the Princess Highway bloody down. down to get to the place. Oh, bloody.
Oh, fucking the M1, mate.
This better be worth it just to kill 2 people when there's a whole city behind me.
And then rise while the title card comes up. It's a wee bit silly.
The soundtrack wasn't as...
I don't remember.
Like I listen for someone. I listen to horror soundtracks a lot, and that's
fucking
like guys,
humanitarian
I'm
award.
doing it for you guys. I'm doing
it. For
it.
you.
New segment coming up soon, probably. I don't know.
Do it.
But
gives me less work.
I love horror soundtracks, and I was listening to the soundtrack, and it seemed like okay. Like the Evil Dead soundtracks never fully stood out to me, besides the remake, which I really think is a great soundtrack, and of course Army of Darkness because it's very unique. But it just didn't fully make things scary. Like I'm not a huge fan of like orchestral soundtracks, like
really?
With horror, like with small horror movies.
Yeah,
like I just don't think it always fits.
I'm not the biggest fan of the fucking violins or whatever. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, but that's what this film has a lot.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like,
I'm
like, I didn't hate the soundtrack. I just wasn't as great as other ones.
Every fucking horror movie uses that exact same.
Yeah,
like it's like iMovie. Literally, iMovie has it. It's an iMovie thing, and it takes me out every time. It's like in How You Met Your Mother, the same fucking laugh every episode. I'm like, I know it's you. I can hear it, and it takes me out every time.
Yeah. Although How Much Mother's a good show, guys. Check it out. Check it out. Shout out to How Much Your Mother. It's not as loved as it needs to be. Sorry, I just need to take this time. How Much Your Mother's a good show.
We're about to run out of battery.
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, basically, all right. Final negative, because I've just cut it down to a final negative.
No, you can keep going.
It felt a little bit similar to the other films towards the end with the chainsaw.
Yeah.
And it felt like, okay,
we have to have the chainsaw.
We've seen this. You gotta win the day by using the chainsaw.
Why not have like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have like a gun and a melee weapon, like a gun chainsaw. Like
has that not been done yet?
No, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., someone gets an axe and a shotgun.
I had a Nerf gun that was a gun chainsaw.
Why not do that shit? Be innovative,
guys. Do it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Season 4 Ash from Ash vs. Evil Dead is doing that.
Yeah.
In the future,
animated series. It'll be animated.
Are they doing that? Did they?
We talked about that.
Oh yeah. Did they? Did we talk about we would love it that way, or are they actually doing that?
I thought that.
I don't remember.
Oh, Sam Raimi told him to go to the gym, so maybe by getting one.
All right. There we go. Anyway, so that is kind of the crux of my negatives. So let's quickly get to our.
Oh, yeah, right.
This is the whole part.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly just skim through what are the different.
Yeah.
You know,
just say the names. We don't.
And
have
if that dies, just come over to my camera.
Yeah.
Okay. No, come over. I'll go to your camera. It's my one. Damn it. Okay. No, my ego. No. Basically, that we have five.
Yeah.
Not five. Okay.
Shit show.
We have a thermometer of ratings. Bottom is shit show. Bad. Then we have ball
snorting
snorting out the door. It's
boring.
Then we have
book appointment for disappointment.
Book appointment for disappointment is like it had some things going for it, but a lot of it wasn't going for it. It could have been great, wasn't.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun. Good.
It's fun.
Hey, it's fun. It's in the name.
It's fun. It's nothing crazy, but we enjoyed it. Yeah, there's some flaws, but we enjoyed it. Then above that is Fantastically Splendid. A good horror
movie.
Worth
Some
your
flaws,
time.
but doesn't take it away from being good.
Yeah, it's still a really good time.
Yeah.
And then above that is classic.
Masterpiece.
Hardly any
in
flaws.
The name.
Perfect. Great movie. This movie, I am gonna give. Look, I enjoyed this movie a lot, and I enjoyed this franchise.
I need to watch it again.
I've only seen it once, but I enjoy this franchise. And I don't give it enough, so I'm going to say a very low, but a decent.
Yeah, a good, fantastically splendid. Same. I'll do the same.
Yeah, it's
like
good.
teetering on hate's fun. I need to watch it again.
But at the same time, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, it was a fun experience.
Yeah. Like my watch was great, and when I came out, I was like, oh, there was
coming
some
out of the
parts.
theater, I was like, this is going to be in my top 2 Evil Dead films, top 3 Evil Dead films. It was fun, and for someone who doesn't fully love the franchise, like I do love the franchise, but I'm just saying, like, someone who doesn't completely gel well with the Sam Raimi films as other people. I like something that is a little bit like the remake, but also a mix of Sam Raimi. So I enjoyed this one. Thought it was good and Fantastically Splendid. I'm happy to give it. Anyway, do
you know what's funny? During the watching of Evil Dead Rise, there was a trailer for Infinity Pool. Remember? I remember.
Really?
Yeah, I went to the toilet because I didn't want to get spoiled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's transition.
That's a good transition.
Let's dive into the Infinity Pool.
Infinity Pool. We'll see you there, probably in the same angle.
In this exact, it's going to be like a 10-minute gap of us. But for you, it's right now. Same angle.
Hello. Okay, so now we are on to
Infinity Pool, starring Mia Goth and Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård, I'm pretty sure, is the guy. And Infinity Pool. We watched this at a festival. We watched the unrated cut. We need to preface that.
Unrated. We didn't know it was unrated, but it was the unrated cut. The way that the movie's intended to watch. If people go like, why didn't you watch the theatrical cut? Well, the unrated cut is probably as the director wanted it to be because they did it like that.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
I always say, if there's an unrated cut, that's how the director wanted you to watch the movie.
Yeah, okay.
So if you go like, it's better in the theatrical cut, shut up. We didn't watch that version.
Yeah, and so we watched the unrated cut. So some negatives may not pertain to the theatrical cut because it's like probably shorter.
Yeah.
It would be shorter. It would be less thins. Yeah. But yeah, the majority of what we say should still resonate with the normal cut either way. Yeah. But yeah, Infinity Pool, I don't have as much to say about Evil Dead as Infinity Pool, but we still go with it. So we start with the positives as we always do. And should I start us off? Is that all good?
I'll start off.
Yeah, you do it. Go for it. Go for it, buddy.
I thought it was very funny, actually. There was
Funny,
a lot of
yeah.
humor at the beginning, especially. A lot of creative humor, I think.
Yeah.
This movie definitely exudes a very different type of personality because it's the son of Cronenberg. So it's like it's got a feel to it.
Yeah.
And like especially the Mia Goth, very funny.
Yeah.
And especially at the beginning when she like talks about her job, of like she's like she's like the person who sucks at the infomercials.
Yeah.
And like she's trying to cut the bread. I can't butter the bread. So funny. And it's
a spoiler. It's fine.
No. I just can't find the word. It's trying to say things about rich people and taking over like small communities and stuff. But it was so funny.
Yeah, I would say the humor worked.
It was so funny when you'd see people in stereotypical costumes and you're like, oh no. Like these people who probably have no idea that they're like that bad. Like them at a Chinese restaurant and it's just not a white guy, but a person from the island wearing like stereotypical Chinese garbs and like the Jewish massive nose. It's like, oh no. But it's like, it goes with the movie's themes and it's funny.
Yeah, it's not like it's supporting that, it's making fun of it.
Yeah,
so
it's making fun of it. So it's like, oh no. So I feel like that really stood out. I was like, I wasn't expecting it to be actually like, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, and I think with a movie like this, you got to have a little bit of humor because it's a dark.
Yeah, if you take it too seriously, then it's like, I don't care.
Yeah,
but it's
and
like funny.
I agree with you. I think the humor worked, and I think even with some of the scary scenes, they kind of played out like punchlines where like it's like you can't kill us or whatever, and they suddenly go into like.
The people in it also the people in it are having a fun time. Like the characters, like they would start laughing of the absurdity. So you kind of have to laugh with them, like, oh, this is fucking weird. So like,
it's a very crazy film. But I will agree the humor worked, and even it had its like dark moments when it was like not very funny. But I think the humor worked. I think I agree with you.
Didn't take me out of it.
I think that this is a major positive to me. Some of the scenes, some of the gory kind of scenes, the killing scenes, actually genuinely got a response out of me. Like
I remember sitting next to you, and you were like, "Oh my god!"
Like I feel like with that, for example, specifically with that first time Skarsgård gets cloned and the kid is stabbing him, I legitimately was like, "Oh my god, this is like making me feel a little bit disgusted." Like. The way that he's enjoying stabbing,
it's kind of weird,
and the family's wanting him to stab.
Kind of weird. We watched Evil Dead, and like we didn't really get that feeling when this movie about just a kid stabbing is.
Yeah, I mean that kind of.
It's like the background of it.
I mean that's specifically kind of my fear. Like I've talked to you about, like I can't even watch the Hunger Games because it's kids killing kids. I mean I've watched it obviously, but like I'm like, oh god.
I think that's really cool. Of like the idea of like it's almost more about what's happening and not the result of the gore. It's like. The gore could be just a stab, but it's the intention of who's doing it,
the kids
why they're doing it. It's like that's the psychological element really worked.
And I think it was like I had moments I was discussed because the uncloned versions of characters like laughing when the clone characters get killed, and like that really like was like, oh my god, that's
we don't know, they could have been the clone versions.
I know there's a whole thing about that, but I'm just saying that like when they're like laughing their heads off. Actually, I mean, that's also a cool thing. I might say that's a kind of positive, small little positive. I kind of like how it's a mystery. Like, are they clones or are they not clones who are surviving?
That didn't really get touched upon a lot, but
but it was a scary thought.
You have to talk about it.
But I will say that there's genuine scenes that got emotional responses out of me. Felt tense, felt scary, and even though a lot of the characters are unlikable, I still felt bad in those certain scenes. And I will say that. Yeah, I mean, you got to give props to a horror movie that actually gets an emotional response out of you. So I think that was a positive in my book. Do you want
I would say branching off that, I would say this movie doesn't really drive with a plot in a sense. It doesn't really have a plot, but it does drive with the shock and horror and gore and the continuous gore and shock.
It's a very unsettling film.
Yeah. So I would say like it's a positive in the way that the movie still went without a plot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it has a basic plot, but
but there's no there's a plot where like the plot is like they get cloned and they get killed. That's the plot. But there's no like he has to finish the book in time or he has to do this. There's no like, it's just like he has to survive and get through
I
it.
guess as more as he's getting crazy, the
scenario,
film becomes less of a story, more of like a emotional
that's what I mean. Like
conglomerate of like feelings, of
fear
weird
and anxiety,
scenes,
and
it's like
I feel like the movie, the twists and the shocks and the turns were able to drive this movie without like a captivating like plot or anything.
But it felt like a very unsettling, unnerving kind of experience.
Yeah. So that goes off you,
film.
but I'll do like a fully new one.
Go
is
for it.
the acting, just full on acting. Everyone fantastic. I know some people probably didn't love Mia Goth's voice. I loved it. It got annoying at points, but I loved her voice.
I thought it was fantastic.
I bet some people would be like, oh, it's a bit, loud and a bit like, boo, boo, boo. But James, I loved it.
Great.
It's so fun, and her, him, everyone, Skarsgård, just fantastic. And I forgot to bring this up on my previous point, but talking about like the things that disturbed me.
Yeah.
The thing that got me the most was the first montage shock scene of him getting scanned.
Okay.
When he had the thing in his mouth. He was naked. He like had the thing on his,
Sure.
and I was just like so vulnerable. And some of those like images and the gore in it, and some of the scanning and the CGI effects and the practical things, I don't think it got any better than that in the movie. I think it peaked with that kind of like marathon of like images going blah, 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 blah. For me, I think it peaked in its like craziness pretty like early on.
Yeah.
But that scene.
Yeah, definitely.
But also the acting was good.
Yeah, so I also agree with you. Like that was another positive of mine.
Yeah.
I think the performances from everybody was great.
Yeah.
And
No weak performance.
I don't think there was any weak performances, and it was. I love Mia Goth. She was a standout, and she's always a standout in everything she does.
Everything she does, she's good.
And okay. So another positive I have is I felt like for the most part the social commentary kind of worked for me. I feel.
Yeah.
It may not be for you. That may be a negative for you. I don't know.
No, it's both. It's like I've seen this before so many times now. It's getting to a point where I've seen the rich, funny, bad people take advantage of their wealth. But it's done in a way that's different because the plot and the circumstances make it different. It's I've seen movies where they can like get away with being stupid and like, oh, we just pay money and let's get away with some fun stuff. But the way that it's on an island, it's like take the whole idea of like these rich people having a resort on an island with no like economy. There's like they're all fucking farmers with no money, and these rich people living in their high towers. That's the good part. Like I really enjoy the colonialism of it, of like them at this resort chilling at the beach while everyone who lives on the island is suffering, and they're just like, yeah, whatever, I can kill you and just get cloned. Like that's what I liked. I just didn't love the whole haha, let's just laugh and get killed, and let's laugh and get killed, and like repetition
I kind of like that.
It's got
it's
too
like,
repetitive.
what is the point?
It's got too repetitive for me.
Okay.
At points, but no, you go with your.
Okay, well, I don't have too much to say, but I personally felt that the aspect where the families, like the whole concept of it, like their version of justice is like killing.
Yeah.
Killing like. No versions of them, but like, the eye for the eye kind of concept, and how that maybe is part of the culture of that island, and how they kind of like. I mean, I personally enjoyed the bit where the rich people are going like, "Oh yeah, whatever," and
oh yeah, I liked it the
like
first
you can
time.
kill me as many times as you want, and I kind of like them kind of losing themselves and their morals by as many times as they replicate themselves and losing who they are. I thought was really cool, really like an interesting idea. And to the point where by the end, what are they? And it's I just enjoyed that. I mean, I don't have too much to say, but I just feel like
I just wish we saw more of the island, of like the actual like stuff, because very like
I guess
it was touched upon and we know the idea of it, but it was I don't know.
I didn't need more of the island. Personally, I didn't need more of the island.
I would want to see more of like how it actually happens, because we're all told that that's how it works, and like we see the kid stab, but like I think like because it's like that's kind of making the people who live on the island kind of like making them kind of like whoa, kind of intense. They don't really show any of them like being actually having anything else.
But then I don't think that makes the film even bigger than it's meant to be.
I know,
like,
but
I feel
there's
like
no.
It's meant to be kind of.
It's showing them at the island. It's like
I don't know.
You haven't seen this show, but House of the Dragon. It's what I like about Game of Thrones is that we see everything of the different houses, but in a House of the Dragon, it's just following one family, and like the rich people, and they're up in the tower, and I'm like, yeah, but what about the other guys? What are they doing?
But I just think that that's just not the story. I don't think that suits that kind of story.
I just wish when they went down, because when he ran away, because he was running away, and he was in the farm area, and that kid walked, and he was like, I don't know. Wish there was like, I don't know, like a mother there, like kind of like, not hey, but just like doing laundry and doing stuff.
Okay.
And like just, I want to see them. And they don't have to do anything. I just want to be able to see them and go like, oh, because the island just felt empty. It felt like, didn't really feel like anything was actually going on that island.
Okay. Personally, I think that would take away from the story. But yeah, cool.
It doesn't have to be a plot point. I just want it to be just to see people. I don't know, just walk past, have them be like an actual presence in the movie of the other people, because we're just told about them.
Cool.
I just would prefer to see them.
That's fair.
I don't know. Maybe if I watched it, I wouldn't maybe not like it, but just my ideal.
Do you have any more positives, or I can say I only have one more.
Cinematography. That's what I wrote.
What?
Cinematography. It was shot well sometimes, at some points, not all the time.
It's a bit of my
I know
negative.
exactly what you're talking about, but I would say the beginning. Really?
I hated the beginning.
What
that
was
was the
the
beginning
beginning?
directing I did not like, and then I slowly got into it.
What was the
Everything
beginning?
was like turning upside down, and there was like shots where like only half, like it's very like uncomfortable shots. And I get that's probably the style.
Right. I wasn't thinking about that part.
I didn't. I was like, oh, why is it turning upside down?
It was very much knock at the cabin door opening.
Like I just didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll get to that in my negatives.
I honestly, I was more talking about like the Chinese restaurant when they were at that. I really liked the cinematography there and how it goes on from there. Beginning, I don't really remember.
That's part of it, though.
Yeah.
I didn't love the directing there. It was like very uncomfortable shots. Maybe it was
I liked how like Mia Goth was just like one image and it was just like that while she was doing it and it was just on her and then Skarsgård.
Yeah, but there was like shots where it's like they're on one side of the frame and there's a bunch of like blank space or there's like,
I like that.
this and that. It didn't work for me.
Okay, I like that.
But like I know it was a choice and I think it's meant to be uncomfortable. Yeah. But I didn't love that. And I'm just gonna say that now so I don't say my negatives. So we just don't waste time. I just thought it was a cool world.
Yeah.
Like I know we didn't. For you didn't feel like you saw enough of it, but just the idea of like, what is this language, or like the idea of that as a concept of like, you know, rich people in one area and everything else, all the like poor like actual people of that island, you know, suffering and being violent. I just thought that was a cool world, at least.
That's what we want to see it.
I didn't need to see it, and you're wrong, and I'm better. No,
I disagree.
No, not better.
No.
Sorry, no.
Yeah, and do you want to go negatives?
No, I'm ready for negatives if you're ready for negatives.
Yeah. I kind of talked about this of plot is complicated, but the plot is like, not plot, but like everything going on is very complicated. But if you boil it down, it's the rich bad, which I've seen before when I talked about this of like, it's not creative enough to be distinctive to other things I've seen.
I guess so. Maybe I haven't seen as much stuff as you.
Yeah,
but
sure. Maybe
to me, I thought it was fine. I thought it was good.
Yeah, like I think there comes to a point where like it was creative and like they hit the guy. They're like, we don't want to get caught because there's savages here, and it's like, oh, okay, they're gonna use their privilege. But then it kind of got to a point where just like they were just doing the same joke of like, we do this thing, we get caught, boom, we do blah blah. And I'm like, I like that, but they weren't like doing anything to. I think I just didn't like the sex scenes. I don't know why. Just that like that also playing into that fact.
On that, can I branch off that? The montages, the sex montages, were just either went for too long, or just were like, okay.
I didn't like them.
Like, they were okay, but they didn't really add anything to the plot, and they just did.
Nope.
I mean, I didn't hate them.
but they went on for too long, and that's why I disliked them.
Yep.
Is they went on for too long, and they were just like,
didn't feel necessary at all.
It could be experimental. They look sometimes cool, but yeah, maybe because it's just the unrated cut.
Yeah.
But they went for too long.
That's kind of negative.
I just flat out didn't like them, really.
Okay. Should I go to do a negative? Or did you go to
my negative is just the crazy drug trips felt disconnected from the plot and went for too long, leaving you confused on what the message of this movie is going for. What is happening in this drug scene? Felt like a completely different thing. If they cut out the drug scenes and just had the main story, the movie wouldn't change. Like the whole drug trips and they're all having sex, like that can be implied. You don't, or like have small scenes, but like there's like 3 of them in this movie. They go for 5 minutes each. And it's, if you cut them out of the movie, nothing would change. Absolutely nothing would change. And it just felt like, wait, is this movie going for rich bad or is it going for sex? What is this movie going for right now? Like, I don't know the message of what this is representing. How is this meant to make me feel? I'm confused. I don't know. It's made me more confused than intrigued.
Okay.
Yeah.
To me, towards the end, I kind of felt the runtime, and maybe because it's the unrated cut, but I really felt like, okay. And then the kind of concept of like, it's a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
I did kind of feel the runtime, and if I can just say a big like negative, the ending felt a little underwhelming, but not insanely bad. It just felt like, okay, like it kind of just like, it felt very long, and the ending just like happened.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, he's just staying on the island, and then that's the end. And it felt a bit weird because like, I don't know, maybe because I was so drained from how big of an experience it was.
Yeah.
That the ending kind of just felt like, I don't know. I didn't gel with the ending too well, but at the same time, it wasn't a bad ending. I don't know. This is a weird negative. It's not really. It's just me rambling. It just felt like, oh, it just kind of ended.
Yeah. Also, I just
with the bad guys getting away all good.
Yeah.
And that's but that's fine.
That for me, that's also kind of negative. Maybe I've just seen too many things, but I've seen that before of like these people like doing all these fucked up things, and they just go home and they're like, oh yeah, so you're gonna talk to the wife? Oh yeah, and he's just like, like I like that to an extent, but it just wasn't different enough for me. This movie was so out there and different with the visuals, but it just wasn't there for me with the plot and the actual characterizations and the writing. It wasn't enough for me to be like, I understand and get this, and it meshes with the rest of the film and what it's going for.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm being too harsh. It's been a while. I probably would have to watch it again to like, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm like, oh wait, no, they did do different stuff. Like maybe there's a scene where they do different stuff and I just can't remember. But right now, from what it left with me, maybe I'm just not big with these kind of stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have too many more negatives because I think we do need to wrap this up. But there's some bits I was able to predict, but that's not really a negative. Yeah, just kind of like, oh yeah, I knew that guy that they had with a blank thing like over his face was gonna be the clone of Skarsgård. Like I knew that.
Yeah.
Or like
that's kind of what I mean.
But like on the same time, that's not really a negative. It's just like
like
no, that's really it. That's it.
I kind of like, the thing is, I kind of knew he was going to end the trip with having a lot of vials of himself. I knew.
That was a funny little motif.
Yeah, it was funny. Like it was funny, but like I thought
that was a cool little societal comment. It's like, hey, he's just souvenir.
You carry the baggage.
Yeah,
that's why. I really liked that, but it just, I saw it coming a mile away, and I like from the beginning I was like, he's going to end up with like 5 of those, which is like obviously just a writing thing, and like that's what they were going for. But it's kind of weird. It wasn't, the actual plot of the movie wasn't surprising enough for me.
Okay.
The visuals, drug scenes,
it felt
sure.
Like this film felt more like an experience rather than like an actual movie.
Yeah.
I think when I did a review, one thing I said to Louis was that this felt like a really interesting art installation. Like, you know, when you go to a cinema and there's like a movie, like a little script, like a little artsy film that you see, and it goes for like 20 minutes. Like, that was cool. I don't want to see that again.
Yeah.
Or like I can just walk in and view it and then walk off.
Yeah.
But it was like, it felt like a very cool art installation experience that I don't need to see again.
Yeah. And you paid $30 to see.
But it was fine. It was fine. But that's it for me, I think.
That's it.
Yeah,
I
think we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
So basically, you know our system. We just said it. So I'm gonna give this, like, look, I think
objectively, it's a pretty well-made film.
I wrote this down. Technically good, not for me.
I don't know. I don't dislike it though. Like I did kind of enjoy it. So like I would, but I don't. I would give it. I'd
give it a disappointment. Book point
really?
Disappointment. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So wow. I was gonna give it like a hey, it's 1.5. Because I actually do think like maybe because I'm not used to seeing those kind of movies, but for a movie that actually got some like genuine like emotions out of me, and it was a weird experience, and it was like it wasn't perfect, but like it was a time in the theater. Yeah. I gotta give it what it's due, and I think I'm gonna give it hey, it's 1.5.
Disappointment doesn't mean like in the name makes it a bit more harsh than it is. Like it's just I liked a lot of it. It's just overall I'm not gonna watch it again. I'm not. It didn't leave me impressed a lot, and I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it's not what I expected. Let me just I will say like it's definitely not what I expected it when I was going into the theater, but. To me, I still enjoyed it. Like I still thought it. I didn't enjoy it. Well, it was an experience, but like I did enjoy it. The movie, I still think it's a good enough film that I should give it at least a hey, it's fun, and I think that's what I'm doing.
I feel like I could give it a hey, it's fun, but I'm gonna be honest with myself and go. I left the movie. I didn't love it.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Well, that's our reviews for Infinity Pool and for Evil Dead Rise. Hope you enjoyed it. But before you go, we have a little thing that we do called trivia, guys. Trivia, ever heard of it? It's called trivia. So for all you trivia nerds out there, horror trivia nerds, we have a question for you. But first, we have to answer last week's question. Last few months question. And it was that how many times is Ghostface?
Yes.
If I get this correct. If not, we will recut it with something else.
Yeah, how many times Ghostface?
But how many times is the name or the word Ghostface said in the original Scream?
Yeah.
How many did you guess? Did you know the answer?
I don't remember. Once.
It is only once. It is only once.
Ayo.
It is only once.
Yeah.
Guys, that's crazy. Ghostface.
The whole point
Killer,
of the thing.
Not the rapper.
Said one.
There's a rapper called Ghostface Killer.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's that. But now we have to ask you a question relating to this topic. Alrighty, so this week's this video's trivia question for you is going to be Evil Dead based, because I love Infinity Pool. Oh well.
You always say you love.
We
enjoyed Infinity Pool.
Infinity Pool's cool. Okay, basically the question that we have for you is before Army of Darkness or after whatever.
A sequel was going. A
sequel was being planned for in the Evil Dead franchise where Ash will fight a
horror icon.
Horror icon. Mm-hmm. Who is this horror icon?
Who was it?
I'm gonna list you 4 options. Okay, was it Michael Myers?
No, really?
Could it be? Was it Jason Voorhees?
Can't be.
Might just be. Was it little Chucky? Little Chucky boy.
Little bitch.
Could it be? Or could it be Leatherface?
Could
it be? Please give us your answer in the comments. Can't wait to hear it. And we gotta go now.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching. This was a double feature. I know you probably have seen these films already, but the fact that you stay here
I realize
and
I'm
watch
wearing
this review,
the wrong shirt.
Me too.
That's okay.
This is a costume change.
We did a costume change. We're filming a video next, so
yeah, this is for another video.
This is for another video.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
But basically, thank you for watching. It's great to be back. We're happy to be back. It's been a long while. We love you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
But hey, that's just Horror Herald. A Horror Herald. Thanks
for what. Swap places. Wow.
This feels weird being over here.
Okay.
It feels nice over here, actually.
Take out that camera. I'm taking out this camera.
Why?
No, I'll take out that camera. Take him out.
Okay.
Grab it.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.